Hello, everyone, and welcome back. We're going to be watching The Devil Wears Prada today. Storm here.
Mom here.
Kimmy here.
You guys have requested this. You voted for it on our Patreon, so thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
All three of us are blind to it.
Mm-hmm.
We know Meryl Streep is in it. Anne Hathaway.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't know the premise, but Prada, I'm thinking fashion.
Fashion, and there's going to be a little devil in this movie.
That's right.
I know. So is it going to be, because we watch all kinds of content on our channel, so are we actually having a devil type character in this? Is this more like fantasy based or
just
a lot of different genres, I guess you can relate that to or put that in? And it is directed by David Frankel. I wrote that down. So shall we get into it?
Yes.
Yes, love to.
We are watching on Hulu today.
All right.
The Devil Wears Prada. Oh, I love the song.
She's very practical.
Yeah.
Chapstick.
Great. Human resources certainly has an odd sense of humor.
It's so different.
Follow me. Okay.
Gird your loins.
Oh, God.
Onion bagel.
She looks devilish.
What would she?
I don't understand why it's Massimo. Also, tell Richard I saw all the pictures that he sent for that feature on the
Well, did she even talk to him?
YouTubers, and they're all so deeply unattractive.
Don't let her see.
She needs it, though.
Oh, throw it.
Stuff is in it.
My God.
She's hired.
What is it, a phone interview?
The jobs that pay the rent.
The job to pay the rent.
Baby.
Require any clothing.
Really.
Oh no!
Whoa.
Hey!
Oh yeah, Charlotte.
That's right.
From Law.
Hello?
Uh-oh.
Oh, gee.
Uh-oh. That was probably a big one.
I guess it ain't a half.
Emily.
I was going to say.
Just gonna buy us and so what we.
That's not what I asked. Did he get him on the phone?
She just started like a
My
minute
God.
ago.
What is this, right?
Emily?
I would just
That's
self-combust.
What's that cartoon show? You find something else?
Stress.
Dang.
Oh, jeez.
Do the code.
Oh, jeez.
Crazy.
The run-through is
I hope the money's good.
Oh, my God.
Hey. Time's worth.
Told you. I thought you were kidding. No, quite
You were kidding, oh boy.
I get 20.
I don't think she cares.
Oh.
Carbs and
Oh,
everything.
right.
Eat anything?
Supposed to run through up a half an hour. She's always 15 minutes early.
Oh, Jesus, like that. Come on.
Shoot.
Huge ego.
Yeah.
No. And I've seen all this before.
Whatever you like to think.
Something funny?
So skinny.
See, that's bad.
Give me that.
See,
There's
she's
like
trying.
$8 of Jarlsberg in there.
Now what? On your car.
Oh, no.
Where's that piece of paper I had in my hand yesterday morning?
Go girl! Go girl!
Oh, my God.
All that I like at that store on Madison. Get us a reservation.
It's just
boy.
cute. Don't change.
That's right.
Actually, 8 months, and she's got editors and writers from every important magazine. And this year I got. Hello, Miranda.
So disruptive.
My flight has been cancelled. It's some absurd weather problem. I need to get.
You're falling.
Jeez.
Drizzling.
Oh, my God, look at that. Yes, okay. Oh, drizzly. Yeah, I'm going to say she probably does.
Rose recital was absolutely wonderful. It was higher the smart factor.
Bad girl.
Oh, my God.
I had hope.
That'll fit a size 6, I can guarantee.
Oh,
God.
got 6.
These are all sample sizes, 2 and 4.
It's on loan.
They all have the same shoe size.
It might fit.
Seems like.
It might.
Oh.
She's gonna play it up now.
Oh.
Oh, shut up, Sue.
Ah, a little competition.
Yes,
well.
yes.
My girlfriends.
Whoa.
This python's hot right now.
I have citation for all of you. Are you ready? Oh, one more.
Oh, yeah.
Little thing.
Look at
Don't say thank
Oh,
you.
don't do that. No,
Don't.
don't do that.
He's gonna answer. He's gonna answer.
Oh,
Oh,
come
no.
on.
Good thing she knew that.
Here we go.
Yeah.
It's a sketch of my
Okay.
Hi.
Efficient. I see your point.
What's a preview anyway?
She's getting back.
Miranda insists upon seeing all the designers. Just go.
Just go.
Fine. And Andrea, I would like you to deliver the book.
Andrea, oh, getting closer.
Oh,
Have Emily give me
Emily, which is, isn't that great?
look at her.
She's gonna take the key on her. She's gonna do something malicious.
Now it's very. You can give the book to us.
No.
Oh, don't.
It's okay.
Don't. Oh, honey.
The kids can
They're
always
little
take it at
devils
some point.
themselves.
Like their mothers, yeah.
Oh, they're loving it.
Oh, you can tell.
She's like, you came upstairs.
I know.
Oh, boy.
bedtime story.
I made a mistake. I know.
Andrea, you don't understand. If you get fired,
Doing this to punish her more.
Yeah.
Wish me luck.
No, shan't.
Whoa.
Oh, don't have the coffee next to it.
Oh, boy, yes. No, that's going to be spilled on it. Oh,
Hello.
yeah. That's different.
No thanks.
Keep telling yourself that. That's what you can do.
Oh, I don't need anything.
I'm about to faint. I eat a cube of cheese.
Well, it's
Oh,
definitely
honey.
working.
I know. I'm just one stomach flew away from you.
You know, she's so sick too. That's so hard.
Yeah.
It's good that she decided not to.
Yeah.
I know that's hard
Yes.
though. Career, life.
That's right.
She can change this job.
The decision's yours. Like, yeah, honey.
Right.
Yes. She's cornered. They're just like in different lives now.
Yeah.
Oh, she's gonna make her?
No.
It's terrible.
Oh no! She got hit! Gonna get out.
Oh no!
Oh, I hope she's sorry.
She won't be able to eat any of that.
She might just go for it and eat
What
everything.
really just gets me about
Look at her.
Or she broke her leg.
Oh my god.
just go.
Sex, lead the way.
See you later.
Okay.
Where's Nate though?
Give me a hard time too.
Oh, come on, he actually
He has
listens.
no idea what's going on.
Yeah.
Hey, Andy.
Oh, jeez.
Make the choice.
That's it.
Prada.
Oh, do I?
He's pushy.
Are you working tonight?
No, actually, Miranda.
See, even her personal life was gone.
And then when we get back to New York, we need to contact
We're going to celebrate. I'm going to get some champagne.
Okay. What are we toasting?
She's a notorious sadist, and not in the good way.
Okay, she's tough, but if Miranda were a man,
He's been persistent. I'll wake her up.
I hung up on save. Oh boy. Oh, here we go.
He's only going like this.
See, I knew it wasn't going to be him.
Oh, jeez. Not everybody.
wants to be us.
She's just walking away.
She is, I think
She's
so.
like, where is she? Right in the water.
Yeah.
We might be able to figure something out.
Oh, good.
No, that's good. Yeah. I can.
If I don't hire you, I am an idiot.
Yeah.
Okay, there's something good.
I've done something right.
Very sweet.
A little bit.
You have some very large shoes to when I ask for it.
See, now everything's not as great.
That's right.
That was her way. It's like,
Yeah,
I'm
can
not
you
acknowledging
smile a
you.
little bit? No. Okay.
Always the same.
Oh my goodness.
And a chuckle.
Finally.
The world's going to implode.
That's all. Look at her heels now. She's still wearing them.
That's right.
She
Yes,
changed
she
her
is. My gosh, she
fashion.
did. A lot less stress in her life. now.
Wow.
Oh,
Yes.
God, that was so much stress. Wow.
That was good.
That was good.
That was a very good movie.
I think it has a good lesson, too. It really
I was
opens
gonna
up
say,
your
yeah.
eyes to all different
On
kinds
so
of
many
careers.
levels.
Sure
Yes.
does.
Yeah,
Wow.
and we're focused on fashion here. I mean, it's very interesting to me because I do love fashion, but like I've never had to worry about dressing up like that because I love what we do. We wear a lot of cartoon shirts, and before this I worked in dentistry, so you know I just wear scrubs a lot. And going out I had I thought nice outfits, but nothing so glamorous as we've seen in this.
Oh, yeah.
But it really gives you a different perspective on how fashionable, like very fashionable people
that's
live.
right.
Absolutely. And you saw with Andy how she started off, and
Yes, right.
she was completely the opposite of the entire world she was walking into.
Well,
And she learned to appreciate, she's very intelligent.
She is.
She's, you know, she's educated, and she knew she had to work with them in order to survive there. And she just wanted to pay the rent for a year. And it
That's
changed
right,
her
she
life.
did.
And she almost lost, you know,
Yeah,
a lot of her friends, her
Definitely.
boyfriends. She almost lost everything.
I'm glad she
Just
got
to
Nate
soak
back at
in
the
there.
end.
I am too.
I thought that
So,
was it,
yeah.
like lesson learned, but it's already went too bad, and
That's right.
she's a different person for the better in a way. Like she learned, I'm glad she left the business because the main question is, are you all career with no life, or are you about life, your friends, your family, you know, trying to figure
You have
out
to
your
balance.
choice.
Yeah.
You have to have a balance.
You have to have
Sure
a
you do,
balance.
definitely.
And I get working a lot, but when you have to have, like, you're on call all the time, like, you're sleeping, God knows what time it is, and you have to, like, leap out of bed and get dressed, and you have to look decent.
Anytime.
Not even decent, like, above decent to present yourself.
Yeah, and for a boss that doesn't appreciate you, that you're underpaid in this, I mean, multi-million-dollar industry. She's working for the boss.
Yeah.
And you know, she has to just, you know, live her life for her.
Yeah.
And how can you do that
And
and
the
be
boss
happy?
Boss doesn't appreciate her
And
at
she
all.
doesn't appreciate her at all,
No,
right?
no.
She just insults her
Terrible.
when she does something wrong, and she doesn't, you know, get the praise that she needs when she is right.
Yeah.
And everybody there is on edge.
Everybody.
And that
From her
sucks. Like,
best
how
fri- you
negative
know,
is that?
Snapping at each other.
Like the most loyal person of all,
Yeah.
Nigel, and she just takes him down, and you know,
That kills
all
me.
his
That was a slap in his
dreams
face, I tell you.
just to benefit
poor guy.
her in the magazine.
Yeah.
I like how this story solidified Miranda. Like,
That's right,
I
yeah.
thought she would learn working with Andy, and, you know, her opening up slightly at the end with her
That's
divorce.
what I thought maybe it was going to be a good thing.
Yeah, and her worried about her kids and stuff. Like, I was hoping that she would turn around a little bit more and, you know, be kinder to people and spend more time with her kids. But it shows you that the point is she chose career over everything else, and
Yes,
she was
did.
going to be lonely all her life.
That's what she
And
did.
Andy didn't want that. So she went almost the whole way with her and then said, heck no, like, you're actually telling me, like, we're having an actual human discussion. Like, she's actually being normal in a way, Miranda, and she's opening up and being like, yeah, well, you chose to live like me, you know, and bringing up Emily.
And it was very true what she said about that point, where you had a choice, and you did choose to, you know, take the job, go to Paris, and leave Emily behind. You could have chose right then to say no and step back and quit then.
Yeah.
But she didn't.
And not that it's always about the money, but I know, like, you know, living paycheck to paycheck, it's different when you have to make money to live. And here with Andy, I don't know how much she was making. She was getting a lot of accessories and clothes. I don't know if she was able to keep everything, but then she got clothes from Paris, so then she's giving it to Emily, which was very, very nice. But to be in a job where you have no choice because you're going to get fired and you need to pay the bills, okay, but, you know, at that point when it gets that terrible, you know, try to look for another job, unless she was making so much money that it really helped her in that way to pay the bills. But when is enough?
Yeah, and I think the Paris job, when she went to Paris, that was going to open more doors. And it would have with Christian if she stayed with him and went to see his friend who was the editor of the New Yorker. I mean, that would have opened another door.
Yeah.
And but she just didn't want to go down that path because it wasn't her. It wasn't the right way that she wanted to make it on her own.
And I know it's not like everyone's not like that, but just watching this movie and seeing how all these people in fashion who have so much money, and a lot of them were very shallow. Like, they were kind up front, but Miranda was openly kind or smiling and very, I don't know, like she had a very different personality, a fake personality in front of a crowd, but but with her own company, like she is the devil.
She was. I mean, right from the moment, the day that she was interviewed,
they were all on edge.
When Andy was interviewed, I mean, she was like, oh my God, Emily's like, she's here now, you know, and everyone's just scrambling.
And we're all feeling
just
Andy,
insulting
you know?
Andy, like, I mean, that was just so sad. I would have walked out. I would have said, okay, this is not for me.
And she's the boss of this very, like, successful company, and with her having such an attitude, and it's passed down through the whole business. Like, everyone else is so shallow. They don't care about you. You have to look good. It's all about presentation, but emotions aren't there. Like, they just don't care, besides anger, despite, like, there's nothing positive.
Well, they're afraid of being fired.
Yeah, they're afraid of being fired, and it starts from the top, and it just trickles down to everyone else that works with Miranda, and it's just so negative. And yes, like, look how successful she is, and, you know, making the excuse of, well, she is what she is, and that's what she has to be like because she's doing what she does best, and then you have to do your own job. And I can understand that to a certain extent. Like, she's making you tougher so you can get impossible jobs done, but to the point where people just despise you and then don't like themselves because she's a freaking size 6. But that actually does happen with models and stuff, because a lot of people come out on social media like all upset, and they have mental issues. They openly say that because even though they eat really healthy, they don't eat anything. They just stop eating because even being a size 4, a size 2, like, that's skinny. And
it's skinny, but
that's still fat.
Yeah, exactly.
It's sickening, like, to mentally mess yourself up, to be like, I'm not good enough and I'll never be good enough.
I mean, look at Emily. I mean, she was, you know, the first assistant she's not eating anything, and when she was really starving, she'd have one cube of cheese or something. I mean, but she went in great lengths because she knew it would open up so many doors, and she just did whatever she could.
Yeah, and that's good. Yeah, and that's the drive too, right?
It's drive, but it's just so unhealthy. And everywhere from Nigel, everyone, it was very healthy to dive into this business. It's this business or nothing.
Yeah.
And like, is it really worth, you know, everything, you know, losing, you know, parts of your personal life, most of your personal life.
Oh my God, the stress.
Yeah, that was very sad, and it felt very lonely. And you know, here we have Nigel again, who was so loyal to Miranda for so many years, and he was screwed over because she's all about business, and she like passed it over to a person that she doesn't even like because she knows that person can do the job, I guess. So
yeah, and that would get her out of the hair, out of her hair, and she would still be, the boss.
Yeah, so like here, Nigel was perfect, and he did have that hope that kept him in this. That, with networking and connections, that he'd be on his own, like making, like giving other people orders instead of taking them. And and that was very hard, because hopefully he can find something else that will be good for him. But, it almost feels like you wasted all this time.
It
you were in hell for so long.
Right.
He
was there for 18 years. And because he is so good, on top of everything, she still wins even more because he's so good and she likes what he gives her. Mm-hmm. He likes this, everything about what he does. She always approves his. Mm-hmm. So it benefits her to keep him on board anyway.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, he's just going to rope in. Yeah.
I felt very bad for him.
I know. And he was so good to Andy, too.
I like their relationship.
She just really got to him enough where, I like this girl,
And he knew how to talk to her because, again, they all were kind of shallow, or a lot, very shallow. But he was a little different because he knows the game and how tough you have to be. So at least he was able to explain it more to Andy instead of, like, shutting her down and, like, you're nothing, don't talk to me.
Yeah, especially when she went in there and cried. Yeah, when she was crying, how insulting she was to her. And
I know.
She went right to Nigel, and he's like, you don't understand. This is the business.
Yeah, he couldn't be... Like, he couldn't give her pity or anything because then she would totally get fired because then, which I understand, Andy, like all of us I'm sure can, because here she's working with a monster who's just very nasty and doesn't say anything nice at all, doesn't even acknowledge her presence, or just stupid little things, or like, whoa, you're just like a stupid idiot that's nothing, and you just like did something that's normal, and screw you for even breathing.
My vote would be have a Starbucks in that building.
It wouldn't be enough. Nothing's enough. Yeah,
because she always wants everything piping hot. Just grab it. I mean, she owns the company. You know what I mean?
I know she has so much money.
Just put the Starbucks in. That would be my thing. I'm your first assistant. That's what I'm gonna do.
I know how extreme they made this, and holy crap! Like, she has no relationship with her kids.
No,
we don't even see her with her family at all. Besides arguing with her husband briefly, and she wants books. Like these Harry Potter books, you can't get anywhere, right now within 4 hours. And she's not, and she tells her kids, Mommy's working really hard to get them to you. Like, there's no interaction besides them quickly talking.
That's right. She just thinks that, something monetary is going to make them happy. And that's not a mommy thing,
Yeah, but she doesn't even put the effort in. They tell her something. But I think she also did that because she was also punishing Andy for going upstairs.
Yes, and it was so funny that the girls lured her up there because they wanted to see, good, another assistant's going to get fired.
I know, it's probably like the only excitement they get.
Exactly.
So they're like, ooh, who is this?
And it was sad to see how her husband was talking to her like, her husband, like he was being demeaned, he was like, I'm nothing when you're around,
her
husband.
Yeah, talking about, like, you tell my husband, like, communicating her in the middle, you mean?
Well, when she walked up to the stairs and she was talking, when she saw Miranda talking to her husband, she's like, and she sees the interaction, a true interaction with her husband, she's like, oh, he's not happy either. You can just instantly tell.
It was awkward. It was like a normal argument, but you never see that side of her.
You dare come up here?
Yeah, so it was a bit worse.
Yeah, it was. And for Andy to go above and beyond, not only just give her an extra manuscript, to have the other two copies already sent to the girls.
And made it look like it's a book or something.
Yes. She just went above and beyond, and then that's when, she was like, okay, you're mine now.
Yeah, and there's still no thank you or anything. It's just the simple, nod. It's like, whoa, that's huge. And, to feel like like you're nothing, and to just have that. I mean, I get they're trying to show that, you know, she, like, that's huge for her to do, but to always feel like an underling, like, or just crap all the time, like you could never be good enough, and just stepped all over all the time, like an anxiety because you never know when you're going to be on call, and you have to disappear at any moment, even when sleeping. If you get injured, I'm sure with Emily being injured, Miranda didn't care at all.
Absolutely.
So like her life does
even
not
when
matter.
She had a cold, she's like,
it's all business, and that's it.
That's it.
And even when Miranda had that weak moment talking to Andy and looked normal, you know, no makeup on, and she's talking about her divorce, like, I know it bothered her, but the way she was talking about it, and she's like, well, now that's going to be in the papers about, oh, another divorce, and she lost another one, and she did say something good about her kids, like worrying about her kids at least, but still, like, she was talking more about her image than anything else.
That's right.
Definitely.
Not like I'm going to be alone.
6,
Like, everyone wants to be us, she said at the end. And she totally owns what she is and thinks that she's doing the right thing. And it might be the right thing for her, but I just think it's such a sad life. Like, she has no relationship. Like, good relationship.
Right, and I think when she
kids.
was leaving, you know, in her car after she saw Andy briefly at the end, she was so, you can just see that she was happy that Andy left. You know, she truly was. Even though her acute life right now is, you know, in a wreck, you know, she doesn't have her assistant at her side, but she's truly happy for Andy.
Yeah, she finally smiled.
Because she knows that, Andy
I
made
think
the
we
right
needed
choice.
that just to see, like, okay, I accept it, but I do agree, I like that ending, but I think it would have been interesting to see her not happy, you know, just to be like, oh, wow, maybe this wasn't the right choice that I made. And, you know, I drove her off, you know, but she is comfortable in what she is doing, and she likes what she does, and she knows it, so she respects
and you know what?
her for her decision.
In her realm, she's just like, you know what, I can find another Emily. This is my other Emily.
That's right.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, she really, like, mind manipulates you, like, really messes with you, where she would call her the other Emily or just Emily for a while until she earned her own name.
That's right. She still didn't say it truly, but...
Yeah, Andrea, like, she wouldn't even call her Andy, you know, because she's not friendly. It's all formal. But Emily Blunt, Emily Blunt, you know, that was so weird seeing her like that.
God,
It was.
She's a great actor.
And she was, you know, she was very mean to Andy at the beginning.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh my God, I can't even believe that she hired you. You know,
this
is just
what a work environment. I would hate that.
And then for Andy to turn it around, and yes, she did go to Paris. I mean, but it really wasn't looking favorable for Emily anyway. But for Miranda to make Andy tell her, that was really mean. But you know, and then it happened in the hospital because she got hit by a car of all things. God, it was so sad. But you know what? In the end, Emily really liked Andy. And then when she said, "Oh, you have
she's
know,
getting
big
a little emotional,
shoes,"
being like, "Okay, well, I guess I can take those off your hands, and I have to alter them and make them smaller."
That was beautiful.
That is crazy.
I'm glad Andy and her got back together again too.
Andy and Nate.
Yes.
Yeah.
I am too.
Me too. I thought they weren't going to, and I'm just happy that they did.
Yeah, her girlfriend was very upset with her.
I'm glad, because they were true friends, and I was like, because we're in Andy's shoes, and like listening, you know, seeing what she's going through, I was kind of defending Andy, but then I'm like, no, I'm like, they're right. Listen to your friends. I mean, you're completely being taken over, and you're losing what's really true in life, and you're losing your good friends. And I wanted to go back to an earlier conversation where even with Christian, like, I liked him, but he was on mission. Like, the whole time he's talking to her, he liked her, and he kept talking about the boyfriend. He kept wanting her to stay for a drink, and he kept trying to pull her in. So he had one thing on his mind, you know, he just wanted her. And, you know, and he got it. Like, once, like, he was... first chance he got, and he would always joke about the boyfriend, he got it. And I did like him, but talking about watching the characters in this, where, you know, everyone in this industry is kind of shallow, and not that everyone is, but like a lot of people that we did see in here, like I love Nigel, I know that they are compassionate to a certain extent, but we're seeing some of these people that are like so like they just have a goal and that's all they care about. Like they're not thinking of feelings or anything. So I really think he was just in it for her, you know. And then when he got what he wanted, he's like, baby. And people do say that, but I just felt it was more like generic, like, oh, now I hooked up with her. So and he didn't tell her anything about Miranda
his plans, yes.
Yeah.
And I am glad that he didn't use her for information about Miranda.
Yeah.
That was a very good thing. I think he really just had eyes for her right off the bat.
Yes,
and he knew in this industry that you can't have a life, so you're not going to have that boyfriend for long. So I think that's why he also pursued her, because he knew it's not going to last. You can't. You can't
so he was just in the game for so long. He just knows.
For sure.
Yeah. So he wasn't bad, but it was kind of like. Wow,
but
like
he knew how to work it. He knew what's going to happen, and he was right. You know?
Yeah.
She did lose him. Yeah.
And Nate was so supportive, and we slowly started seeing her change. And he still like wasn't getting really angry at her, but he's like he was supportive in all her choices.
That's right.
And she's very disappointed.
And Lily was upset with her too.
Yeah, no, and she saw Christian kiss her, and she was all like hee, like swooning over it. That wasn't good.
Right.
Yeah.
And Nate was like right
so
there afterward. I mean, that could have went really, really bad.
It did, anyways. Yeah, I guess
it
split,
did,
but
it could have went a lot worse.
Yeah. That was a good film. I really did enjoy this a lot.
Really good.
Great acting all the way through. I mean, I love the whole cast.
Meryl Streep was phenomenal.
Yeah, and I think she really was as well. And I know she plays a lot of great roles, but I'm like, she plays a good villain, you know, villain type character.
Tucci was great.
This makes you think, you know, life is important. You gotta really enjoy life, and I gotta tell you, like. Dieting is different for everyone.
Yes.
Everyone. And exercising is important. And when, for many years, I worked out a lot, and I had sometimes an extreme diet, but I ate pretty healthy, and it's hard to keep that weight off.
It is, and it's one thing to be on a diet, but you have to have a healthy lifestyle.
You have to,
and it's the word diet shouldn't even be in our vocabulary anymore.
Yeah,
because it's almost setting you up to fail. Really.
Yeah,
it's true. Be and healthy, and you just have to. But
everyone's different with it. But like there's different lifestyles.
Yes,
putting it very basic here, but like when I because. I'm just saying, I was a size 0 at one point, and I was really fit. And that was like after work or before work, I'd wake up at 3 a.m. I'd work out for 2 hours a day. I'd run for 8 miles, once a week. And I loved it, but it takes up so much time. And then I was, when I would go out with friends, I'd always just have the salad, or I would have something lean with no carbs. And I was very regimented like that. And my friends would always joke about it, but it was hard, like it's and it
it's
really
one
takes
thing if
a
that's
lot.
what you like to do,
and
it's not taking over your life.
But it changes your decisions. Like if you want to have fun with people, and I even stopped drinking around that time because not that I drank a lot, but that would lead to eating bad things, and for me, and although like I miss being like that shape, but I definitely want to lose some weight, but that's fine. But I know what I have to do, and I'm just saying that it takes a lot. And when it gets to the point where you're not happy with yourself, to the point where you're not even eating, like that's not good.
Definitely not.
But it's hard to lose a lot of weight or to stay a certain weight for different people, like for anyone.
Mom did that when I was young. You were really thin that time.
I got really
you were overboard.
Pictures.
You were overboard.
Yeah, and it gets hard, and it could be a mental thing, especially when people are telling you you're fat, size 6. Like that's crazy. Yeah.
Be happy with what you got.
Always be happy, and it's easier said.
Have a well-balanced diet and do some exercise.
Mom's good with that.
That's right.
Yeah, exercise is good. You got to move around a bit.
Yeah.
You have to. So then I have to work on my diet a bit.
And don't be a devil.
And don't be a devil. Don't be a devil. So love you guys. Please subscribe, and we'll see you very soon as always. Bye, guys.
Bye.